Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Moskowitz's Art Room. Today I'd like to do a project with you in the style of George Seurat. And George Seurat developed pointillism. And remember I said that you can remember his name because Seurat does dots. Well, he also does dashes. But we're going to make a landscape in the style of his Sunday afternoon at Le Grand Jeté. And a landscape is a picture of landforms, okay? And it's usually broken up into 3 sections horizontally and 3 sections vertically. 1, 2, 3, and vertically 3 sections like that. And if you look at Sunday afternoon at Le Grand Jeté, you'll see that that is also broken up into 3 sections horizontally and 3 sections vertically. Because this way your eye will wander around the entire picture rather than just staying in one spot. The next thing you want to figure out, after you figure out your drawing in that respect, is to figure out where the horizon line is. And the horizon line is the line where your ground and your sky meet. It's not a line of blue at the top, a line of green at the bottom, and nothingness in between. It meets and the sky is above it and the ground is below it. If you have your horizon line is usually where your eyesight is. So anything above your horizon line will be going down towards it. Anything below the horizon line will be going up towards it. So we're going to do a little still life. And I mean little. I'm doing very small paper, which is 6 inches by 8 inches, just because I didn't want to be here for the next 3 months doing this. And I'm going to quickly do a sketch of a landscape. So I'm putting in my bottom line. I want to add some trees. And remember, things that are further away from you are smaller than things that are closer to you. So if this tree is closer, because it's nearer to the line there, any tree that I make up here is going to have to be smaller. And up there, smaller still. Okay, and this one in between, I'm going to make, and I'm just going to do some branches. I'm not going to do a lot of detail because, again, we're going to do this as pointillism. This over here, I'm going to do as water. So I'm going to put some sailboats in here with their reflection. And the reflection coming down in the water, and a smaller one over here because it's going to be further away, but it'll break up my horizon line for me. I might put some bushes or mountains up in here, and I'm going to break up this landform because it's too big an area to have to do all in one color. I'd rather have blotches of different color. So, when you do the pointillism, previously I've always done it with paint. And it takes a really long time and it's very messy. But if you remember, you blend the colors with your eyes, not with the color itself. So if I take some blue paint, and this is more of a turquoise color, but if I take some blue paint and make some dots, and then I take some yellow paint and go next to those blue dots. Oops. When you look at it, you can still see the blue dots when you look very closely, but if you look at it further away, your eyes will blend that together to the greenish color. Okay, and I could do the same thing with the red and the yellow, where I can make some red dots. Remember, we're just using primary colors for this and letting your eyes blend the colors together. So with the red and the yellow, I can hear all of you saying we would be getting orange. And we're not using the Q-tips as a paintbrush. We're hopping like a bunny rabbit and just dotting so your eye will blend the colors together to make more of an orange color. And our third combination would be the blue with the red. And with that, I can hear everyone saying, you get purple. Okay, that happens to be the messiest way to do it, but it is doable. You can also use dot paints if you want to make a bigger picture and just use the dot paints. I found this time I really enjoyed using the crayons. And if you look at the Seurat pictures, you can see, if you look very, very closely, that this is just a whole bunch of dashes put together. And when you take it further away, it comes into focus and you can see the picture of the gentleman in the top hat and the women next to him. So I'm going to try and do this just in dashes so that you can see. So I'm going to take a light blue. Oops, forgot to put that in. A light blue crayon, and I'm just going to make some dashes all the way around my picture, and I'm just going to do a little bit of it because I don't want to take the time to color this whole thing in because we'll be here tomorrow. So I'm just taking and making dashes. I'm not coloring the whole thing in. I'm leaving white areas, and I'm just making lots of dashes in this whole area that I wanted to be water. And the dashes don't have to all be the same. They can be intermittent. They could be close together. They can be further apart. I can take another shade of blue and go in between those other dashes so that things that are closer, the colors are more vibrant and bold. And as they go further away, they're more muted and dim. Okay. So, and up here, I'm not going to put as much dark because down there is where it's closer to me. Okay. So you can get an idea of what the water would look like. Now, I did do one ahead of time just so you can see what the finished project looks like. And, without me having to sit here for an hour doing it. So this is what it looks like when it's done. Up here I did different shades of yellow going in a circle to make it look like the sun was shining. I have the reflections in the water from the boats. The grass, which is up in here, is very vibrant with blues and greens and yellows. The trees, the tree trunks, have red and brown and gold and blue in them. The trees up in here have greens and blues and yellows. The hillside here I made with pink and blue to get a purplish color. And when you go back, you can see my two sailboats with their reflections in the water. All my trees, the ones closer have more detail. Ones further away are smaller and much less detail. I have two different shades in the field here so that it would break it up and not be so boring to make all my dashes. So that's my Seurat picture. And I hope you have a good time creating your Seurat picture. Feel free to send me pictures of your projects. I would love to see it. And if you don't want to miss an issue of Mrs. Moskowitz's Art Room, please subscribe on YouTube. See you next week.